Brisbane Trail Ultra Safety Briefing and COVID-19 Safety. Brisbane Trail Ultra acknowledges Australia's Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, the traditional custodians of the land. We recognise First Peoples' continuous connection to land, waters and community, and their continued connection to and sharing of culture. We acknowledge and pay our respects to Elders past, present and emerging. We acknowledge the traditional owners of this land. We're travelling through two traditional owner regions, Turrbal and Jinnaburra country. We acknowledge and respect the Turrbal and Jinnaburra, the traditional owners of the land. Turrbal country stretches north from Ellenbar Creek, south to the Logan River, and inland as far as Moggill on the Brisbane Trail Ultra course. It covers from Kangaroo Point Cliffs to Scrub Road. Runners in the BTU 110 and BTU 100 mile course are also entering Jinnaburra country, Lawyer Vine people of the rainforest. We are following in the footsteps of trails that were made tens of thousands of years ago by the Turrbal and Jinnaburra people. This is a special and unique part of the world, and you'll be passing through with some beautiful and significant areas. Please travel with care. We want to keep the country safe and respect our national parks. On our course and whenever in the national park, please follow the leave no trace principles. Plan ahead and prepare. Travel on durable surfaces. Dispose of waste properly. Leave what you find. Minimise campfire impacts. Respect wildlife. Be considerate of your hosts and other visitors. Trail running is a dangerous sport, and there is a risk of you being injured, lost, dehydrated, or just plain exhausted. If you are sick, do not run. Running when you are unwell is extremely dangerous for you, and you are compromising the safety of others. If you become unwell on course, make yourself known to staff and support crew, and we will get you seen to by a medical officer and withdraw you from the event. It is important for you to look after yourself, stay alert, and to watch every step. We advise you to drink to thirst to avoid dehydration. Take a good quality electrolyte like Hammer Endurolite every 30 minutes to 1 hour. Eat every 30 to 45 minutes to keep your glucose levels steady. Have the capacity to carry at least 1.5 litres of fluid between checkpoints. Stay alert to avoid snakes, tripping over, or twisting an ankle. If you have been bitten by a snake, you must stay still, phone emergency 000 or on the day medic hotline 0421 003 720. Avoid moving. Apply your 10 centimetre snake bite bandage and don't move until help arrives. Lie flat and watch the leaves above you. When crossing roads, you must give way to cars and other vehicles. Cars have right of way on the course. Only cross the road if it is safe to do so. Remove your earphones when crossing roads for your own safety. Be kind and respectful to all marshals and volunteers. Any runner found disobeying a marshal on road sections of the course will be immediately disqualified. Police will be on the road sections at La Trobe and Given Terrace during peak periods for your safety. Follow instructions of the police officers. It is good trail etiquette to remove earphones when running near others so you can hear if a runner would like to pass you, and more importantly, hear if a fellow runner has a problem behind you. Follow COVID-safe guidelines and maintain social distancing at all times. Use the provided hand sanitizer at the checkpoints, emergency water stops, finish line and toilets. Stay alert and ensure you follow the course markings. There will be a course marker at approximately 500 metre intervals. 3 close markers will lead you around intersections or follow the arrow. forested single trail markings will be placed much closer together. Course markers can be identified by looking for a reflective marker with pink ribbons hanging off, or pink and white arrows and crosses. Black Cockatoo Single Trail on the 60-kilometre course has been marked at most 100 metres apart, as it can be a bit technical in some areas. If you're injured here, there is little phone reception. Let a passing runner know your location, or have the runner find the nearest marker and forward the message on to the CP staff. Our sweepers will be following closely behind the last runner with first aid supplies. Vehicle support will be stationed at the top of Black Cockatoo Trail and will be able to assist. Follow the arrows in the direction it is pointing. The symbol X marks the wrong way. Do not go this way. There are many sections that we are unable to place the symbol X, so please watch carefully and follow the course markers. If you haven't seen a course marker for 500 metres, please stop, think, and retrace your steps and go back to your last marker and check your position on your map. There are many offshoot trails along the course. We have marked the course so there's either an arrow, continue the way of the arrow, or 3 ribbons leading you through an intersection. Only follow these course markings. If you are really lost, stop, stay where you are, conserve your energy, and please call Shona for directions. Contact numbers are on your race bib and we will be able to help you. If you are a 60-kilometre, 110-kilometre and 100-mile runner, your location will be tracked by your GPS tracker. If you have reception, you will be able to track and locate yourself. If you have not moved from an on-course location for 30 minutes, we will contact you by phone. You must have phone battery at all times. Do not put your phone on plane mode, as we need to be able to contact you. Put power banks and chargers in your drop bags to ensure you have phone reception for the entirety of your race. 100-mile and 110-kilometre runners must be weighed in at the start line. Please check in with event staff at the start line. Your weight will be logged on your race bib and start line logs. You will again be weighed at CP2 45 kilometres into your run. If you lose more than 3% body weight or gain weight, then we will ask you to see the first aid officer for further assessment. If you have lost more than 2% body weight and you are showing signs of dehydration or generally looking unwell, then we will ask you to stay at the checkpoint until you have recovered, or you may be pulled from the course. If you gain weight, this is also a sign of danger, as your body is no longer regulating your salts and electrolytes properly. This can be fatal, especially if you continue to drink plain water. We provide electrolytes at the aid station. Please use them. It's for your own safety. Please note that all 110-kilometre and 100-mile runners may be subject to a welfare check by the checkpoint medic prior to leaving a checkpoint. This is for your safety as well as the safety of your fellow runners and volunteers. Purposely avoiding a check could lead to race penalties. Watch your step. Every step. Seriously, guys, there are many rocks, tree roots, cliffs in the area that we're passing through. Care must be taken to avoid injury. Okay, so if you run past and someone's injured but is able to walk to the next checkpoint, please alert any on-course personnel and checkpoint staff to let them know someone's injured. Please note their location, look at the next trail marker and bib number. This information will aid with their ETA time at the checkpoint. If you come across a runner who is seriously injured, please call into the emergency numbers on your bib and follow directions given. If the injured runner cannot walk to the closest checkpoint and you are the first person on scene, please stay with them until help arrives. To avoid hypothermia, make sure you stay warm when stationary. This may mean putting on your thermal gear or using your emergency space blanket from your mandatory gear you're carrying. If you're out of phone reception, please push the emergency button on your GPS tracker and we will find you. If you're out of reception, please tell the next passing runner both of your bib numbers and give details of the injury or sickness to them. Ask them to phone the medic hotline when they're in reception. It is important that you stay with that injured or sick runner until help arrives. Put on your mandatory gear and stay warm yourself. We will thank you for looking after another injured runner. The time that you lose to care for your fellow competitor will be deducted from your overall time. For your safety, you must be contactable by mobile phone at all times. Ensure your registered phone number is the number you carry on the run. Make sure you do not put your phone on flight mode. Ensure you have enough phone battery for your run. Place power banks in your drop bags if you require phone charging. If we cannot contact you, we may send out vehicle support, which could slow down your run. Yes, we know this has been said earlier. I know I sound like a broken record, but we really need to stress the importance of being contactable. Please. The national park may be closed at any time due to extreme weather events, such as bushfires, storms, high winds, or flash flooding. Continue to your closest checkpoint and we will direct you from here. Evacuation points will be the closest checkpoint. Please listen to event staff and follow directions to the closest CP for your evacuation. It is critical you have mobile phone battery so we can contact you. Use the provided portaloos or approved toilets at the checkpoints. Spray the toilets when you leave with provided disinfectant spray and use the hand sanitizer provided. If you're too far away from a checkpoint, please move at least 15 metres off the track and away from water to relieve yourself. Bury all feces 20 centimetres below the ground height. Please be mindful that mountain bikes are also on course. Runners must give way to mountain bikes. This is the same for horses. Horses will usually be seen on the file trails, so please give way for the horses and for the riders to pass safely. Although it is illegal for trail motorbikes to be in the national park, they have been seen riding on the trails. Please take care if you hear them for your own safety. Let others around you know what you've heard and notify us by calling the event hotline printed on your bib, and also notify the next checkpoint of your sightings. Look after each other. Be kind to your fellow runner. Remember, even though that this is a race, trail running and ultra trail running can be a dangerous sport, and we all need to be aware of our fellow trail runners to ensure each other's safety. Be careful and only pass when it's safe to pass. The best way to let someone know that you'd like to pass is to greet them so that they know you're approaching. Have a chat and let them know you'd like to pass. Passing on the right when it's next safe to do for both of us. And then pass. When approaching busy areas, especially Mount Coot-tha, you must walk when you're within 5 metres of a tourist. Please ensure they know you are behind them. Say, "Hello, how gorgeous is Brisbane? I've just run 140 kilometres." And let them know you're only going to pass on their right when it's safe. They will be blown away by how awesome you are. Only when you have passed this tourist may you run again. Hellhole Break, Township Break, Westridge Break, and Black Soil Break are all incredibly steep descents with a slippery creek crossing at the bottom. So please be careful as vehicle access to these spots are limited. If you're injured here, there may be a delayed response time before help arrives. Please be careful and stay safe in these areas. We're putting out ropes on Township Break to help your descent. Be careful, the ground is quite loose and it is not unusual to slip here. In the event of a medical emergency, please call the BTU on the day medic hotline 0421 003 720. Enter this number into your phone now. Stop what you're doing and put the number in your phone now. Seriously, now. Did you do it? Don't make me come and make you do it. For all other non-life-threatening inquiries, contact the event hotline or the numbers listed on the back of your race bibs. Event hotline 0483 071 844. Medic hotline 0421 003 720. Did you do it? Queensland Ambulance Services have advised that all runners download the Emergency Plus app onto your phone. Look this up on your App Store under the name of Emergency Plus by National 000 Awareness Workgroup. This will be a direct communication application to access 000 emergency and will give you GPS coordinates. Vehicles are moving around on course to keep you safe. You may see them at the intersections of Hellhole Break and South Boundary Road, Westridge and England Creek, Boot Break and Birchyard Break intersection, Township Break, Gold Creek Boundary Road and Creek Road intersections, top of Black Cockatoo, Leahy's Break and Gold Creek Walk Trail Junction. We also have medics roaming the park in four-wheel drives in case of an emergency. All American Wheeling will be our vehicular support, aiding in helping injured runners and help sweeping the course. Please be respectful of the vehicles out supporting you, and please listen to their direction if they come towards you, as it is likely we have contacted them to find you. It is important that we call the medic hotline for medical emergencies. We will have a sweeper vehicle for you if you have had enough. Please contact the event hotline and leave the medical hotline free for medical emergencies only. If you are going to withdraw from the event and suffer a heartbreaking did not finish, please pull out at the closest checkpoint. If you are unable to make it to the checkpoint, please call the event numbers below and let the management staff know that you will be DNFing the BTU. Otherwise, we will have to come and find you, and that could end up being a very embarrassing exercise for yourself, as we would have dedicated a search and rescue team just to look for you. You must let the checkpoint staff, BTU event staff know if you are DNFing. Event hotline number again, 0483071844. Medic hotline number again, 0421003720. Now I know you've all put them in your phones by now. Let me continue. You still paying attention? Please leave no trace. Pick up all rubbish that you drop. It is poor trail running etiquette to drop rubbish. Actually, poor life etiquette. Carry all rubbish that you have in a lockable bag and dispose of it in the rubbish bins at each checkpoint. Avoid single-use plastics in general and definitely on the BTU, and bring your own cups for water and drinks at checkpoints. A high visibility vest is compulsory when moving through the urban sections of Brisbane. Word for word from our police permits. High visibility vests must be worn by participants. That sounds a bit rude. Hang on. High visibility vests must be worn by participants, pacers and volunteer traffic marshals at all road crossings and listed roads from travel between Barden and finish location. High visibility vests must be worn by participants, pacers and volunteer traffic marshals at all road crossings and listed roads between sunset and sunrise. This is not negotiable. You will not be allowed to leave JC Slaughter Falls without your high-vis vest on and worn through the footpaths from Barton to the city and crossing the roads in the residential area. At dusk and until sunrise, everyone must wear a head torch in addition to your high visibility vest. For runners leaving other checkpoints after 3 p.m, all competitors, including pacers, must carry with them a head torch and backup torch and batteries and high visibility vest ready to wear at sunset. Random spot checks will be conducted over the course for the entrance. Time penalty of 2 hours will be given to a runner found not carrying the full mandatory gear list. See the detailed mandatory gear list for each event on our website. Pacers must carry mandatory gear. 100-mile pacers must carry full mandatory gear, especially if they're running through the night. Pacers starting from Gold Creek Reservoir must carry a minimum of 60-kilometre mandatory gear and highly suggest carrying 100-mile mandatory gear, especially if running through the night. JC Slaughter Falls pacers must carry a minimum 30-kilometre mandatory gear. There are a few loops and out and backs on the BTU course. Failure to travel through these sections of course and cross the timing mats will incur a 2-hour time penalty or a disqualification if the runner intentionally misses them or does not return and complete the missed section on the course. Your GPS tracker will show us your movement on course, so it is in your best interest to pay attention to the markers and follow the course markers closely. Please familiarise yourself with your map or upload the relevant file onto your smartwatches. This is part of your mandatory gear. These spots include the Egurnia Circuit and Jolly's Lookout on the 39-kilometre mark of the 110-kilometre and 100-mile course, Double Taylor's Standpipe Break Turn around Loop at the 50-kilometre mark of the 110 course. On the Colgan Circuit, 12 kilometres from the finishing line of all event courses, this circuit runs in a clockwise direction and follows the natural flow of the trails in this area. Please familiarise yourself with the map and follow the signs at this junction. A timing mat will be placed on the circuit and we will be able to tell if runners miss this loop. Other tricky turns are on the BTU 100-mile course at the Mount Nebo Waste Depot. This is a right-hand turn at the container to follow the Nebo dump break and then onto the horse trail. Another tricky turn is at Cabbage Tree Road, turning left onto Taylor's Break. This is a really wide intersection and at the bottom of a hill, turn a sharp left. Do not continue straight onto the signed Job 6 trail. You will cross the track through a Pebble Creek bed. It will be marked with 3 markers leading you around the turn. There is also a sharp right-hand turn from Mount Nebo Break to get to Checkpoint 1, McAfee's Lookout. Look out for the timing mat at the top of the break on your right and follow the signage. You will then go through a gate before hitting a sharp left up into the checkpoint at McAfee's Lookout. Poles may be required by some competitors to aid with descending and ascending some of the steep sections. Township Break, Boot Break and Side Break are especially steep in the 110-kilometre and 100-mile course and Hellhole Break for the 60-kilometre course. We advise you pick them up at Mount Nebo State School, Checkpoint 2, before the Westridge Break descent, at Maealia Picnic Area, Checkpoint 3, for use on Boot, Burnt Yard and Side Break, or Dundas Bush Camp, Checkpoint 4, to get through Township Break. 60-kilometre runners can pick up their poles at McAfee's Lookout, Checkpoint 1. We are co-hosting our King of the Mountain style Red Bull climb from Checkpoint 6, JC Slaughter Falls at Mount Cootha. It is 1,700 metres in length and about 150 metres in elevation gain. It crosses over the JC Slaughter Falls access road and finishes at the junction of the Pinnacles and Powerful Owl track. Please be careful when crossing the road at the car park. As always, caution when crossing any road. For the safety of runners, you will not be allowed to park on the far side of the JC Slaughter Falls car park as runners are crossing this section. For the safety of all runners, please park at the adjacent picnic grounds, Hoop Pine and Silky Oak, for access to JC Slaughter Falls. On Sunday, parking will be across the road at Stewart Home Car Park. This is our busiest checkpoint, as well as a busy tourist spot. Drive with care. Mount Nebo and Mount Glorious roads are extremely narrow, with large drop-offs, with arguably the highest fatality rate in Queensland. It is a favourite for cyclists and motorbikes. Please take care when driving up to the checkpoints 2, 3 and 4 on Mount Nebo and Mount Glorious roads. Do not speed. The mountain road is windy and there is a large police presence here. If you are on the course after 8 p.m, you are required to have a pacer with you after checkpoints 6, JC Slaughter Falls. Your pacer must be carrying a minimum of 30-kilometre course mandatory gear. Pacers must check in with checkpoint staff prior to entering the course. Please note, pacers cannot pick up their race packs at the checkpoint as these must be picked up at registration. Please note, extra care must be taken by all runners, support crew and event volunteers and staff on Sunday morning. The Tour de Brisbane will be riding on this day and many road closures are enforced. You must abide by the Tour de Brisbane marshals at all times, crossing at all times. 100-mile runners who would like a pacer may have a pacer from Checkpoint 4 Dundas Bush Camp. Pacers must carry the same mandatory gear as the requirement of the section of the course. 100-mile and 110 course pacers must carry 110-kilometre, 100-mile mandatory gear. JC Slaughter Falls pacers can carry 30-kilometre course mandatory gear. Pacers are not allowed to carry anything for the runner. Any pacer found muling for the runner will result in the runner receiving a 2-hour time penalty. When entering the urban section, please be extra careful as you will be crossing roads. Stay on the footpaths. Give way to traffic and stop at all traffic lights and await a green pedestrian light to cross a road where applicable. You are following pedestrian road rules. There are certain suburban areas that are difficult to mark. We're not allowed to put markers on people's fences, actually. One example is along Northam Avenue. You will see arrows on the white fence, on the middle traffic island, and on trees. Use your printed map, phone map, or watch map to navigate these areas. GPX and KML files and Google Maps are made available for you to download for offline use for your safety. Please make sure you turn into Suncorp Stadium by turning right towards the King Wally Lewis statue. Please make sure you turn into Suncorp Stadium by turning right towards the King Wally Lewis statue. As you leave the Suncorp Stadium precinct past the 42 for 42 Memorial Garden, you may encounter more people going to the Milton markets. The course moves you around the markets and through the Boomerang Street so you don't have to run through crowds. After leaving Milton Green, you will enter a well-used bike path, the Bicentennial Bikeway, a shared bike and pedestrian area. Care when turning right here at the Coronation Drive tunnel. Be extra careful at these intersections as they are blind spots, and a bike may be moving swiftly through this area, especially on Sunday morning at 6 a.m. This is also a difficult area to mark. Please enter the bikeway. Pacers are your fresh eyes for these sections. Be careful when turning onto the Goodwill Bridge. The same applies as above. This is a very heavily used cyclist area. There may be a few electric scooters out on the bikeway and city section, so be aware that these riders may not be expecting runners and may not have much experience with these vehicles. Please make them aware of your presence and try to avoid getting too close where possible. Look after the safety of your children. Climbing on fences and barriers is prohibited. Swimming is not advised in the Brisbane River. Bull sharks are very inquisitive and are abundant in our Brisbane River system. And also, yuck. The Tour de Brisbane will also be running on the Sunday morning, so extra care must be taken to keep them safe. Guys, congratulations! You have just crossed the line to complete the Brisbane Trail Ultra. Yes! Please come into the recovery area. Hydrate first with either a Hammer Fizz or Endurolites. Have some recovery nutrition. Oh, you guys are amazing. If you're not well, make yourself known to our first aid staff and we will look after you. You have now finished and have the opportunity to celebrate your race completion safely. Please abide by all COVID-19 safe protocols set in place to keep us safe. The rules are changing, so please follow current COVID-19 safe guidelines. For 2021, this means you must wear a mask or face covering at the finishing line if you're unable to stay 1.5 metres apart in outdoor areas. Drink responsibly. Be respectful of all residents on course. Noise restrictions are, as per usual, minimum noise from 10 p.m. Saturday evening until 9 a.m. Sunday morning. Drop bags will be delivered to the finishing line on Sunday. All finish line bags will be delivered on Saturday. Please be considerate with times, as roads will be closed due to Tour de Brisbane road closures and drop bag deliveries may be delayed. Stay safe. Enjoy the beautiful rainforests, single trails and views. Look after each other and you will have an amazing adventure. COVID-19 safety requirements. Along with the formal safety briefing notes below, we must ensure all COVID-19 safe event rules and checklists are followed. Please follow all regulations that apply to the Outdoor Recreation Activities Framework and Events Framework. Our responsibilities as event organisers and your responsibilities as runners, support crew, volunteers and event personnel are to comply with current health directions of government and public health authorities as issued, understand and act in accordance to the event plans as set out in this safety briefing, comply with any testing and precautionary measures implemented as directed, act with honesty and integrity in regard to the state of your personal health and any potential symptoms, monitor your personal health and take a cautious approach to self-isolation and report any potential symptoms. We advise you to download the COVID Safe app onto your phone. Please check in to all checkpoints using the QR codes provided. That includes event staff, support crew and volunteers. Our key messages for COVID-19 safety are: stay at home if you are unwell or have a cough, fever, sore throat, fatigue or shortness of breath. Stay at home if you've been in a COVID-19 hotspot in the last 14 days. Stay at home if you've been in contact with a COVID-19 infected person in the last 14 days. Maintain social distancing at all times. Stay 1.5 metres apart at all times. Sanitize hands on entry into each checkpoint with the hand sanitizer provided and as often as required. Refrain from spitting and clearing your nose on the course. Cough into your elbow. Limit touching of eyes, nose and mouth. Only touch your own drop bag and do not handle others. Cover your face with your head skin's bandana or other face covering as you enter a checkpoint. You must carry a mask with you at all times. If nutrition and hydration from the checkpoint is required, sanitize your hands prior to filling water bottles. Event staff will not be required to do this for you to avoid unnecessary contact. Follow directions as all checkpoints are one-directional to reduce bottlenecks. When using the portaloos, sanitize your hands prior to entry and spray the cubicle with disinfectant provided on exit. If you have a support person with you, please give your drop bag to them to take away. All tissues and other rubbish must go into the bins provided. Do not share food and water with others. Do not share clothing, personal protective equipment, or other equipment. Avoid unnecessary contact with others. Sanitize your hands as frequently as possible. We recommend bringing your own hand sanitizer in your drop bags. All support crew members must sign their attendance. Scan the QR code provided at the checkpoints. If you develop any potential signs of being ill during the event, immediately isolate yourself from others and call the medical hotline for further direction. The BTU event medical hotline number is 0421 003 720.